How's it going, guys? My name is Wilson. Chris Paul, 36 years old, making his first ever trip to the NBA Finals, getting closer to winning his first title. 16 seasons, still playing at a super high elite level, one of the all-time greats, having a chance to heavily elevate his legacy amongst the best of the very best to win his first ever championship. CP might be on this list very soon. If he wins a championship this season, I'll make another similar video after and put CP on this list as we wait to see what unfolds. I'm not going to name stars who became role players towards the tail end of their career since they were no longer all-star material. I'll just give them honorable mentions towards the end. I'm going to take into account a player who's shown how hard they play, what they were able to overcome, all the adversity they dealt with in winning their first ever NBA championship. So let's get started. Number 10, Paul Pierce, 9 seasons with the Boston Celtics before 07-08. The truth was one of the most underappreciated scorers in the game, can hang with the best of them, never shine from the elites. His commentary might be extremely controversial, but doesn't take away from his greatness. On the hardwood, averaged 23.6 points, 6.5 boards, 4 assists. The Celtics franchise struggled with the tragic deaths of Len Bias and Reggie Lewis, couldn't find an answer after the Larry Bird era, called the truth given by Shaq after dropping 42 against the Lakers. First 2.5 seasons under Rick Pitino, bad team, the only all-star he had before the 08 season, Antoine Walker. By year 4, Pierce took the East by storm, made chatters amongst the best wing players discussion, Bobby Iverson and McGrady the 3 best, Pierce amongst the Vince Carters and Ray Allens of the world. 2002, some didn't think Boston was going to make the postseason, but Pierce's first ever playoff series averaged over 30 points, 8.5 rebounds in a series win over the defending Eastern Conference champions Iverson Sixers, averaged nearly 24 in the conference finals, came back down 25, dropped 19 of his 28 the final period, proved to be an excellent closer, one of the best clutch players, averaged 27, 9, and 7 during the 03 postseason, always delivered when trash talking with other opponents. A lack of supporting cast though, bounced in back-to-back first rounds 04 and 05, Danny Ainge became GM in 03-04, Doc Rivers the head coach the following season. 05 and 06, Pierce averaged 27 and 25 a game but no help, missed 35 games in the 07 season. Boston 20 and 27 with him, 4 and 31 without, literally their biggest difference maker. Pierce was almost traded to New Orleans for rookie Chris Paul in 05, a calculated move by Ainge to pull out, resulting in huge acquisitions. For the summer of 07, Pierce balled out when it mattered most, having 2 other star players, scored 41 in Game 7 versus LeBron, plus the wheelchair Game 1 of the finals, averaged 22 for the Lakers series, won finals MVP, proved what he's truly capable of against other superstars with the help of other good players. Number 9, Clyde Drexler, the 14th pick in the 83 draft. The Glide made the postseason every year with Portland, won between 40 to 49 games first 4 seasons, being in a well-established team with Michael Thompson, Fat Lever, Calvin Nat, and Jim Paxson. The franchise went through some changes after. Drexler lost in the first round 5 of his first 6 postseasons, became one of the best players by 88, averaged 27, 7, and 6, 2.5 steals, All-NBA second team, put up 27, 8, and 6 in 89. The hobble and disappointing Sam Bowie didn't live up to expectations. But under first-year full-time head coach Rick Adelman, Portland's chemistry, alongside great players in Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, and Kevin Duckworth, Drexler's two-way presence led the franchise to the finals in 1990, put up over 26, 7, and 6, fell to the loaded Isaiah Thomas Pistons. Drexler's Blazers earned the best record in 91, 63 wins, a franchise best, but fell to Magic Johnson's Lakers in the conference finals. Super versatile and athletic, Drexler having many high-flying jams, a great passer with a good mid-range shot. In 92, the 29-year-old at the height of his powers, 57 wins, finished second in MVP behind MJ after being compared to Jordan and being labeled as rivals because they play the same position. Jordan took that personally, and the greatness of MJ too much to overcome as Drexler was getting older and a little slower, declined a little bit after back-to-back first-round exits the next 2 years. The Rockets made a trade receiving Clyde and Tracy Murray for Otis Thorpe, reuniting with college teammate Hakeem, who came off winning his first title in 94 midway in the 95 season. After 35 regular season games in H-Town, Drexler stepped up in big games as the second option, helped Prime Dream overcome the toughest path to the title, knocked off Utah, 41 to avoid elimination Game 4, followed by 31 in the closeout, had 29 in Game 7 where Phoenix did his part, winning his first title, had 25, 13, and 7 in Game 3 of the finals, propelled to a 3-0 series lead, and capping off a sweep, proving worthy of his well-earned title. Number 8, David Robinson, the former MVP, scoring champ, rebound champ, and 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, was a superstar his first 7 seasons, hard worker and leader of the Spurs. His other all-star before Tim Duncan was 2-timer Sean Elliott. Admiral put up 25, 11.5 boards, 3.5 blocks on 52% shooting between his first season to 98. His numbers had a slight dip in the playoffs, having predictable moves. The 7-1 center responsible for one of the biggest season turnarounds. The franchise went from 21 wins to 56 during his rookie year, won a league best 62 games in 95, only to get outplayed by the better prime Hakeem, 59 wins in 96, but ran into the hungry Karl Malone's Jazz in the semis. Early 97, Robinson's title dream seemed to vanish, hurt his back in preseason. 6 games later, broke his foot, missing the entire season. Sean Elliott also missed more than half the season, finished 20 and 62, but a blessing in disguise. San Antonio won the lottery, selected first overall pick Tim Duncan. The rest was then history. First season together, very even stats. Duncan 5th for MVP, Robinson 7th, both were neck and neck. While the Admiral turned 33 in the 99 season, sacrifice, it was officially Duncan's team by then. Timmy was the better offensive player, but Robinson's interior presence alongside the superstar fundamental limited playoff opponents to under 85 points a game. The two helped sweep Rasheed Wallace and Arvydas Sabonis Blazers in the conference finals. Robinson, being a great teammate, laid a strong foundation to Duncan for the rest of his career. Number 7, Oscar Robertson, a territorial pick in the 1960 draft, well ahead of his time, triple-double numbers, put up over 29 points, 8.5 boards, over 10 assists, 49% shooting, first 10 seasons with Cincy. 3 of his playoff losses to the hands of Bill Russell Celtics, 2 of them to Wilt Chamberlain Sixers, made 2 division finals, put up over 29, 9-9 in the playoffs before winning his first title, finished at least top 5 in MVP voting each of his first 8 seasons, won the award once, one of the best individual players to ever play, but after 3 straight missed postseasons and tensions with head coach Bob Cousy, Oscar getting older, traded to the Bucks to team up with second-year sensation Lou Alcindor. Oscar sacrificed his numbers, still put up over 19, 5, and 8 in helping the 66-win Bucks go 12-2 in the playoffs. Jabbar was the MVP that year, Finals MVP, best player in the game, but Oscar was a fantastic compliment. Number 6, Kevin Garnett, the big ticket, one of the most versatile players we ever seen, spent 13 long years in Minnesota before traded to Boston, used to be one of the most loyal players until the franchise and the lack of help became too unbearable. The All-Stars he played with, Tom Gugliotta in 97, who was borderline, was released in 98, one-timer Wally Zerviak, and one-timer Sam Cassell, 7 straight first-round exits, combined with the Joe Smith scandal that cost the franchise some draft picks. Being on a team where no other stars was too interested in playing, Garnett didn't have a strong supporting cast up until 2004 that allowed his team to win 58 regular season games. Before 04, KG had to play Duncan Spurs in the first round twice, finished second in MVP voting in 03, won 51 games, but bumped into Shaq and Kobe's Lakers in the first round. Loaded competition. If Garnett was in the Eastern Conference, might have been able to single-handedly carry his team to the finals in the early 2000s. His MVP year, first time winning a playoff series, imposed his will in the semis against the Kings, finished with a 32.21 rebound stat line Game 7. Sam Cassell banged up, missed 2 games of that Lakers series, fell in 6, followed by 3 straight missed postseasons. The franchise even tried to lose games by not trying late in the season to secure good position for draft picks, won 7-17 to finish 2006, lost 7 straight to finish 07. Many had the perception that Garnett's just a player who puts up great numbers but not a leader or winner, but they couldn't be more wrong. The Minnesota Timberwolves franchise years later, still a dysfunction. After being traded to Boston, Garnett proved why he's not only one of the best players, but one of the hardest workers and one of the best leaders we have ever seen. Boston being a 24-win team, KG a big reason why there was a 42-game turnaround, didn't need to drop 20 plus every night, won Defensive Player of the Year, brought the energy, made all the hustle plays each and every night, elevated his teammates, the leader of that 08 title squad. Although Paul Pierce won crowned the Finals MVP. KG was clearly the best player on that team, especially for the first 3 series. The Garnett believers absolutely happy for him.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
Who knows how many titles KG would have won if he had a better supporting cast years before. Number 5, Julius Erving. The greatest ABA player all time, won 2 ABA championships, one of the most anticipated superstars to finally join the NBA after the merger, played with the Sixers in the 76-77 season, pretty much saved the league from their terrible ratings. The franchise went from a first round exit to a finals appearance in Dr. J's first season. Teammate Doug Collins, Henry Bibby, George McGinnis, Caldwell Jones, Daryl Dawkins. Erving was brilliant, averaged 37-5 in the finals, but Portland caught fire at the right time. Teammate McGinnis didn't play too well after falling to the Bullets and George Gervin Spurs the next 2 postseasons. The Doctor made it back to the finals in 80, won 59 games, second in MVP, fell to Magic's epic Game 6 Lakers. Won MVP in 81, but fell to Spurs Celtics in one of the all-time classic series, a conference finals that was decided by 1 possession from games 4 to 7. Erving led his team to 58 wins in 82, but fell to the stacked Lakers in the finals, 6 NBA seasons in and 32 years old. While the Rockets went through some ownership changes, superstar Moses traded for Caldwell Jones in a first. The rest was history. 65 wins with Malone and Doc. One of the best teams all time in 83. Erving was no longer in his prime, but Malone at the height of his powers. Philly went 12-1 in the postseason, age 33 for the Doctor, well-deserved title after all the work he's put in with the Sixers franchise, made 4 total finals. Number 4, Wilt Chamberlain, the most unstoppable force of his generation. Video game numbers on and off the court, equally as effective in his professional and private life. First 7 seasons in the league, averaged almost 40 points, 25 rebounds. After 6 playoff exits, 5 of them in the hands of Bill Russell Celtics, it was inevitable. Team success would always trump out individual greatness. Wilt was called selfish, a loser, and a player who cared more about stats. The Warriors traded him because of financial issues after the 65 All-Star break. While Philly was great in the 67 season, Wilt was told to focus more on other areas of his game. Instead of trying to score 40 and 50 every night, went from averaging 33.5 points to only 24 a game, 24 rebounds and 8 assists, 68% shooting. Hale Greer, Chet Walker, and Billy Cunningham put up between 18.5 to 22 a game. Philly a 68-13 record, the best the league has seen at the time, knocked off Cincy, finally eliminated Bill Russell Celtics en route to title number 1. Greer the leading scorer in the postseason. Wilt averaged under 22 points, but grabbed 29 boards a game, 9 assists. Wilt wasn't even the 4th leading scorer in the finals, but clearly the best player on his team, sacrificed for the better good. The MVP proved he was way more than a dynamic scorer, had one of the most dominant seasons all time, averaged a triple-double his first 2 playoff series that year, the playoff leader in rebounds and assists, even had 1 postseason game with 19 assists. As a big man, mind-blowing stuff, changing his play style for more successful results. Number 3, Hakeem Olajuwon. Dream was an absolute stud, already led Houston to the finals by his 2nd season, put up 27 and 12, 3.5 blocks that postseason, but fell to one of the best all-time teams in Bird Celtics. All-star teammate Ralph Sampson diminished by injuries in 87 and 88. Dream was the undisputed leader of that team after Sampson's departure. For the 89 season, the leading rebounder, but 4 straight first-round exits from 88 to 91, 2 of them to Magic's Lakers, with little to no help. Arguably the best defensive player of his generation, multiple blocks champion. The low point of his Rockets tenure in 92, finished 40 and 42 overall, missed the playoffs for the first time in his career, missed 2 weeks early that season, requested a trade because of his bad contract, low salary for a top center, management tensions at an all-time high, but suddenly not traded. Instead, the team brought in new head coach Rudy Tomjanovich. Dream improved his assist numbers in the 93 season, played inspired ball, averaged over 26, a franchise best 55 wins, advanced to the semis before losing in 7 games to Seattle. second in MVP as well. The team rewarded Dream with a 4-year extension. Hakeem's dreams finally came true the following season. After a roller coaster first 9 seasons, no other All-Star teammate averaged over 27 a game, 12 rebounds, nearly 4 blocks, 53% from the field, 58 wins. As perfect a season anybody can accomplish. The MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, First Team All-Defense, First Team All-NBA, third in scoring, NBA champion. With no other All-Stars, Vernon Maxwell, second leading playoff scorer for Houston, averaged under 14 a game, one of the greatest single carry jobs in NBA history, did not allow Patrick Ewing to outscore him in any one of those 7 games in the finals. Well earned, hard work paid off at its finest. The 95 title just as rewarding though. Number 2, Jerry West, pretty much 1A and 1B. There's a legit argument you could put West at 1. Always played at a high level. No other NBA player went through as many devastating losses and heartbreaks before winning their first title. West was so hurt to the point, thought about quitting basketball altogether at the prime of his career. Missed the clutch first 10 playoff seasons, put up 31 points, 6 and 6, 48% shooting, 0 and 7 in the finals before 1972. In 62, teammate Frank Sylvie missed the potential game-winning shot that could have won Game 7, ended up losing in OT. His 29.5 points the following finals, not enough, carried his Lakers to the 65 finals without Elgin Baylor. 34-point average, lost in 5. Another heartbreak the following year in the 66 finals. West put up 34 points, 6.5 boards, over 51% shooting, a 36-point Game 7. Elgin Baylor declined a little after the injury. A 2-point Game 7 defeat in Boston, averaged 31, 6 and 6 in the 68 finals, but lost to Boston again, even after adding superstar Wilt Chamberlain, who unfortunately didn't get along with Butch Van Berdekoff. Refused to put Wilt back in the game late Game 7. An absolute travesty of a moment. West averaged 38 points, 7.5 assists in those finals. Sam Jones hit a game winner in Game 4 to tie the series. LA up 3-1. West literally played his hearts out. A 42-point, 13 rebound, 12 assist Game 7, resulting in a 2-point crushing defeat. Literally gut-wrenching. All the pain, literally gave everything he had. Averaged over 31 in the 1970 finals, but lost in 7 again. Injured for the 71 postseason. Time was running out until finally the 72 season. 33 years old, under new head coach Bill Sharman, set a regular season record 69 wins, including 33 straight. West had Gil Goodrich, Jim McMillan, Wilt, and Happy Hairston. West and Goodrich 1A and 1B on offense. Jerry averaged 23, 5 and 7 for the postseason. In a slight sign of relief, finally won his first title, knocked off the Knicks. Although Wilt was the finals MVP, Jerry West's first ring, very rewarding. Number 1, or you could say number 1A, Dirk Nowitzki, who made the finals once, falling in 2006, spent 12 seasons in Dallas, became a superstar by 2002, won 57 games with Don Nelson and point guard Steve Nash, swept Garnett's Wolves, while in 03, won 60 games, averaged 25 and 10, hurt in the conference finals. Dallas had a good chance winning that year. After Nash's departure, the team added Jason Terry, had good role players Josh Howard, Jerry Stackhouse, and Devin Harris. Surrounding Dirk from 05 to 07, his Mavs won between 58 to 67 games, finished third place in back-to-back seasons for MVP, eventually won the award in 07. First team All-NBA every one of those years at the height of his regular season powers. In the 06 playoffs, Nowitzki knocked off San Antonio, but had a subpar finals, followed by winning a league best 67 games, only to get bounced in round 1 in his MVP season, lost to an 8 seed. It appeared Dirk's time was running out, the franchise stagnant, his teammates didn't give as high a production from the 08 to 2010 postseason. Dirk was averaging nearly 27 a game, 10 boards, over 51% shooting, but viewed as a choker. Dallas literally off everybody's radar. After many postseason disappointment, the Mavs traded for Charlotte's Tyson Chandler, the perfect defensive center to surround Dirk. Huge upgrade from Eric Dampier and Sadana Dobb, combined with strong leadership with hungry vets in Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, and Sean Marion. 57 wins 2011, still counted out. Dallas was considered an old team that wasn't going to advance past the second round, but the 32-year-old shocked the world, saved his best playoffs before slowing down in age, one last chance to perform at an all-time great superstar level, eliminated Kobe, KD, Wade, and LeBron to earn his first title, the franchise's first ever championship. From resiliency to never giving up, Dirk Nowitzki could have easily demanded a trade, but stuck with the tough times to truly test his greatness and patience with the franchise paid off heavily. Arguably the sweetest title all time, was the clear-cut best player on his team without another all-star in 2011, which is why I ranked Nowitzki's first title just slightly ahead of Jerry West's, because West did have superstar Wilt, who was an all-time great, and Gail Goodrich, a fantastic player who was on his level that year. Amongst other great players, Nowitzki averaged 10 more points than the Jet, the second leading playoff scorer for the 2011 postseason team. While the Lakers' 69 wins was supposed to win the title, Nowitzki's Mavs one of the most remarkable stories all time. Honorable mentions includes Wes Unseld of the 1978 Bullets, Jason Kidd 2011 Mavs, Ray Allen 08 Celtics. Unseld was no longer an all-star for the 78 Bullets team, but still the leader, a long journey, one of the most unselfish players all time, while J. Kidd played excellent defense on Kobe and LeBron from time to time in that postseason, was no longer a star but did a little bit of everything, while Ray Allen, the third option for the 2008 Celtics, delivered big time, knocked down timely shots in the finals. Which one of these all-time greats do you think had the most rewarding title in the 30s? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, current NBA, anything basketball that will interest you. So if you love the NBA, subscribe to my content. More good stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.